Hey YouTube, it's that dude named Dave and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today's video, we're doing a flashback to Kevin Samuels. In this episode here, we're going back to one of his holiday smoke shows. So let's not waste any time. Let's get to the video. Let's let Kevin cook in. We're gonna try to make this make sense.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. What's the disagreement?
Can I request not to be on YouTube, please?
Sure. What's the issue?
Thank you. I feel like some of the arguments that you make are unfair, mostly because you blame women a lot for the state of the dating market today, and I think that
Give me an example of what you're talking about.
Saying that women today are not ready to be wives, I think is not fair.
Based upon what?
Based upon, I understand that there's a sector of women who aren't ready to be married, but I think that making that general statement is not fair toward women.
Oh, okay, first off, are generalizations fair?
No.
Bullshit.
Well,
bullshit. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Bullshit. Generalizations are fair.
Okay. I'll concede to that.
All right. So saying that women are not ready to be wives, based upon what?
Again, saying that they don't understand submission and being feminine and all
What
that.
percentage of women would you say are ready to be wives?
I would say probably like 20%.
Ma'am, 20% out of 100%. If 80% are not, that means you just made my freaking point.
Okay, but
no. Before we move, let's acknowledge the math. You can't. The math ain't mathing. You said that you're making an unfair generalization. Did I ask you if you thought generalizations are fair? You said no, and then we had to go acknowledge the fact that it's bullshit. If the majority of something is true, it doesn't have to be 100%. 51% will do. That's the majority. The presidency is decided by that little of a margin. Okay? That's how the world works. And then I'm asking you, the person that says, I make the unfair generalization about a group of women, you tell me that 20% of said women are ready to be wives. That means you agree with me.
okay, but also I would say,
does the math support my logic?
yeah. Okay.
So,
I'll agree with you on that point. Yes.
Okay.
But I also would caveat that with the fact that most men aren't ready to be husbands either.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, and
doesn't matter. Men have longer to wait. Men have longer lives. See,
I want to pause here. I'll let Kevin cook here for a second. Why it doesn't matter? Because the argument and the discussion is on women. You see, it doesn't matter if men are not ready and women are not ready. We're having discussion and we're talking about here, which she asked the question because she had the smoke, if women are not ready to be married. So we have the discussion about women. See, when you not able to make your argument or you're losing the point, you can't come back and say, well, men are not ready too. Well, this is not about men right now. And like Kevin's going to go into detail why it doesn't matter. But the main thing is when we have discussion on one point here, if you're losing the argument, you can't say, well, they're not ready either. Doesn't work that way. Let's continue now.
See, what you've just proven is you're arguing in bad faith. You don't like the facts. And then it's, I know you are, but what am I? So what? If men aren't ready, all men have to be ready for is what percentage of women? All 100% of men have to be ready for is what percent of women?
for the 20%.
Thank you. So,
Okay.
is it that I'm unfair?
Well, it's just the way that the arguments are framed, saying that
They're framed in logic. They're framed in statistics, data, facts, observable reality, things you can go see for yourself.
But you run under the assumption that all the men are out here looking
I don't
for
labor
wives.
under any assumption. I said that we don't have enough wives for men who want to be husbands. And you just said 20% of women. Don't tell me what I did when you tell me 2 out of 10 are ready.
Okay, I would argue that 2 out of 10 men are ready to be
I
husbands.
don't care. It doesn't matter. See, it's one of these things of, well, women aren't ready, but the men aren't either. That's how they've learned how to argue. All right, but is a woman at 25 and a man at 25, do they have the same market value?
No.
Oh, okay. Whose market value is higher?
For the dating market or marriage?
The sexual marketplace. A 21-year-old woman and a 21-year-old man. Who has the higher sexual marketplace value?
The woman.
25-year-old man and 25-year-old woman. Who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
The woman again.
A 30-year-old woman and a 30-year-old man. Who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
A man.
The 35-year-old man and a 35-year-old woman. Who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
The man.
And as I keep going in 5-year increments, will women ever overtake a man's sexual marketplace value?
Not in the long term, no.
No. Will it grow at a steady rate, or will it get exponentially larger? Meaning a 50-year-old man and a 50-year-old woman, will they have the same difference between them as a 30-year-old man and a 30-year-old woman, or will it be greater?
It'd be greater.
Thank you. So by math, you've just said women have roughly a 10-year period before their value dips below men. So it doesn't matter if men aren't ready. Men have a fucking lifetime. Women got 10 years.
Okay.
And that point here, Kevin broke that down very, very well here. See, early on, when women get to their peak, we said when it gets like 21 to 25, basically to 30 years old, where he breaks down the danger zone starts at 27, women's sexual market value will be higher than a man. They will be peaked because we've seen statistics how it doesn't matter the age of a man, he wants a woman between 21 to 25 years old. But once we get to 30, once we know that men build themselves to a certain area, then we see the value of a man be more than a woman here. Women's values early in life, men have to grow and build themselves, and then they become more valuable. This was very great how Kevin broke this down. Let's continue.
That's actually one of the points I agree with you. One of the few
But man,
points.
that's at the basis of all my arguments.
But sorry,
Oh my God.
I don't mean to change the subject, but
But before we're not going to change the subject.
sorry.
We can move. We can ask another question. But you gotta admit that there is nothing that you made in your initial statement that lines up with the facts of what I just said.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
So, can you honestly say you listen to what I say in good faith?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I
then
do.
if you did, ma'am, then you will listen to those facts, those numbers. I don't just say stuff to be saying it.
Okay.
But just because I don't break every time I say something down in a 5-minute explanation of a quip.
Okay.
Next question.
I've noticed because I've watched a lot of your content in the past couple of months, and I noticed, especially, I think it was last week, that a woman called in. She was a 45-year-old virgin. And I've noticed that when it comes to virgins calling into your show, I feel like you don't give them fair treatment. You just label them all as socially awkward and just hiding behind their face.
That's
as a way
not
to-
true. Ma'am, that is patently false. And I have at least 3 shows I could pull up right now.
Okay, then I'll just go back to the woman that called last week, who was 45 years old, and, and a virgin. I felt like you weren't being fair to her, mostly because you felt like she was delusional, which I actually agree with you on that. However,
what did I say?
Before he gets into it, what have you guys noticed here with this caller? It's been a lot how I feel. It's nothing where the point where she's making her points and it's like Kevin said earlier, based on logic, or she's bringing up statistics and data. Everything is I think or I feel. So there's no tangible evidence. It's just what's going on internally with her. So let's continue now.
What I said she was socially awkward. When was the last time that woman had a date?
I think she said like 12 years or something.
The last time, I'm sorry, relationship.
A relationship? Oh,
Mhm.
I know it was a long time.
No. So you're going to bring this person up. So I need you to be versed in what you're talking about. How long ago was it?
I'll be honest, I don't recall exactly.
Okay, so you're going to bring something to the table to discuss and accuse me of doing something, but you can't even have a firm enough recall. It was 20 years ago.
Okay. I
You
knew it
got
was
a
a long
45-year-old woman who was a virgin, who had not had a relationship in 20 years. If that's not socially awkward, okay, first of all, that doesn't put you in the socially awkward category. Then what about talking to a man that's 52 years old for 2 years?
Yeah, I'll admit that that's
Was the woman
abnormal.
no, but was the woman socially awkward?
I feel like you can't judge that.
I don't care. No, I don't want you to. I see that's the feel. You feel like when you listen to that woman speak, does that woman sound like she's socially normal, socially above, or socially below? When it comes to romance, relationships, and dating.
I feel like she is, and I understand it's my opinion. I feel like she's strong in her conviction. And
I
that's
don't care, ma'am. That's not the question I asked. Please answer the question I asked.
Okay.
Was she socially normal? Was she socially above normal? Or was she socially below normal when it comes to the marketplace and dating?
She would be considered abnormal.
Abnormal?
Mhm.
Awkward.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you could use that term.
So you're
awkward.
going to tell me you feel she's what?
I feel like she's a person who stands strong in her convictions, and that's something that's ridiculed today by the
That's
world.
bullshit, because that's the same woman. I asked her, all right, ma'am, if you're a Christian like I am, are you in a church right now that facilitates single marriage? What was her answer?
She said not really.
No. So she's not that strong in her convictions, because if ultimately God and her pastor and everything else we talked about, she would be in that one place. See, what you really are showing is you're talking through your feelings.
I'll acknowledge that, but
all right, then who
can you acknowledge that you were?
No.
Sorry.
Well, okay. So you said that I do things that don't line up with what I've done, and you haven't taken them. You've at best you've acknowledged it. How about the fact that you just don't like some of the ways I say things?
No, because like I said, there's some things that I agree with you on, and even
Well, but
in
the
that
thing
conversation.
you brought up. How often do you talk to her? I mean, we're splitting hairs too. When you talk to a virgin, how many people are virgins these days? What percentage of the population? What do you think? What percentage of the
My
dating
cousins, most of them
What percentage of the dating
Oh.
population? I don't give a shit about your cousins.
You see how he's asking a direct question, and then she went to my family, my cousins here. That is the bad thing that happens when we have debates or arguments with people, especially women here. They want to go directly who they know, and it's not about who you know. We're having conversations about the overall, the public here, because your family is just one specific item that may not represent the whole conversation here. Just because your cousin's a virgin, how many are there in the world here? You see, good question by Kevin, and we got to make people stay on point here and not use specific examples like this when we're trying to talk about generalizations. Let's continue.
Okay. Of the dating population, I would
Yes,
say
that's all that matters.
less than 10%.
Less than 10%. What state do you live in?
Massachusetts.
You think less than 10%? Less. Keep going. Give me an approximate number, plus or minus 2.
Okay, I would say, and we're talking about adults here, correct?
That's the only thing that can date, ma'am. I don't
Well,
know.
teenagers can date too. So, but yeah, I would say
What the fuck? adults, man.
Well, teenager typically
I
most.
don't talk to fucking teenagers.
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I would say 8% of
8% of
Yeah.
the dating population
Mhm.
is are virgins.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
Okay.
And I'm a Baptist, so most of the people that the circles I run in, they're mostly virgins.
And how old are you?
I'm 32.
And what city do you live in?
I'm like an hour away from Boston.
And you want to, and the dating population is above 18.
Mhm.
You think that, so when you think of dating population, is that 18 to 34?
Yeah, that's my.
You think
Mhm.
8% of people between 18 to 34 are virgins?
Well, honestly, I was going based off of a study I saw that about 35%.
That's a yes or no question before you tell me about the study.
Okay. All right. I guess I was being naive there. So I would say probably, okay, we'll say 1% then.
See, ma'am, I want you to understand.
Mhm.
I have just deconstructed your entire argument based on numbers. You said that I was unfair to virgins. And the vast majority, hold on, the vast majority of people aren't virgins. To be a virgin in the dating market over a certain age makes you a little bit awkward by definition. As somebody who spent 2 freaking years coaching and speaking to incels, involuntarily celibate men, virgins, and MGTOWs who actually have had training and studying how to actually approach this and to counsel and coach this, I'm not just some guy in a suit sitting up here making up stuff. As I've shown, as I deconstruct you, I know what I'm talking about. Maybe, just maybe, I know more than you do.
Yeah, and I would.
And that's
definitely
why
agree.
I say what I say. I didn't say it to hurt her feelings. There's a movie called The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Was that a drama? Was it nonfiction? Was it sci-fi? Or was it comedy?
It was comedy.
Because it's laughable in our society today.
Yeah, and I just.
All righty. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and finish making your point, though.
Yeah, I just felt that it was rude, essentially, to ridicule someone for that.
It
I
wasn't
understand it's
ridicule.
not.
No. Is the truth ridicule?
No,
No, hold on. Hold on, Liz. I got to back you down. What's ridicule?
ridicule would be because you did call her socially awkward, and okay, if
Is
you're
that
going.
ridicule?
Well, calling someone socially awkward, would you say that would be a compliment though?
It's calling somebody obese.
Let me pause that right here because I remember months ago, long time ago, actually, if I want to be actually precise here, when this show had dropped and I had did a reaction video before on this here, how people were getting mad and saying that awkward was a bad word. Isn't awkward in the dictionary? Can my tribe or people who are brand new right now pull up the definition of awkward and then use that definition to apply to this conversation regarding older people, men or women who are virgins in the sexual marketplace? You see, in this conversation, I'm dealing in the past as well as what's Kevin doing here right now. Women do not like certain items. And when it makes them feel a certain way, it's gotta be bad. But you know what though? The truth is still the truth. Let's continue to finish this off here.
Obese ridicule?
No,
Calling somebody a diabetic, is that ridicule?
No.
Is calling somebody what they are ridicule?
okay, but in Christian.
No, ma'am, no,
Mhm.
no. This snowflake generation. A 45-year-old virgin who has delusions of how she's going to find a husband, who says she's strong in her convictions, but she's not even in a church to facilitate single Christian marriage. And
To
you're
be fair,
defending that, and you're saying I ridiculed her by what?
Well, to
Calling
be
her
fair,
socially awkward. What should I have called her?
most churches don't
No,
facilitate.
what should I have called her?
You honestly, and I know it sounds mean, you probably should have just called her out for being lazy.
I did that too.
Oh.
But both things can be this. Both things can be true. She's lazy
Mhm.
and socially awkward. But I want to go back to the beginning.
Mhm.
You don't even like generalizations.
I would disagree with that, but okay.
You said you don't think generalizations are fair.
Well, I did walk that back though once you.
No, you walked it back after I challenged it.
Hmm.
So, ma'am, due respect, it sounds to me like you sounds like to me you what I would consider to be one of these snowflakes. You're too sensitive. Ma'am, she's a 45-year-old virgin who still thinks because she hasn't had menopause, she can have children and God's the final person to decide. And I'm a Christian.
I know that was
All right,
delusional.
ma'am. Ridicule. Is there a way to tell somebody the truth and not ridicule them?
Yes, for sure.
And how do you determine the difference?
Well,
How do you determine the difference?
the difference between ridicule and telling someone the truth is that the truth is often told in love and wanting to help someone.
You can't love somebody that you don't know. It's about intent. Don't put that on me. I don't have to love a stranger. It's about intent.
Okay. But I understand what she's going through because I had experience with that.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Hi, Kevin. Good evening.
On that note, that caller had dropped off here. She has some bad audio. So we're going to end the video right there because she had 2 long questions here and her and Kevin had a nice spirited back and forth here. But was Kevin wrong here? Kevin gave excellent information. He gave facts. He was breaking it down and deconstructed her argument regarding virgins being awkward in the dating market here. But I'm curious what you guys think here. Comment, like, subscribe, and click on that bell notification below. I want to hear your opinions on this video here. And as always, we know we miss Kevin Samuels here because he was dropping gems. But until next time, I'm that dude named Dave. See y'all later, YouTube world.